In California, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are provided many services because of the Lanterman Act. Many of these services are paid for with state and federal money from the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, otherwise known as CMS. Therefore, the state and service providers must comply with what is called the Home and Community-Based Services, HCBS, Final Rule. In January 2014, CMS announced a requirement for states to review and evaluate current services, including both non-residential and residential programs, and to demonstrate alignment with the federal HCBS Final Rule. These rules were developed to ensure that individuals receiving long-term services and supports through HCBS programs under Medicaid waiver and state plan authorities have full access to the benefits of community living and the opportunity to receive services in the most integrated settings appropriate. As part of the federal rule, it is critical that individuals and families have the opportunity to collaborate with service providers regarding the services that they receive.
Well, the reason why I like to do the things I like to do is because, well, one, it makes me happy, and two, I don't know how to say it, but, or describe it, but, it just makes me feel like who I am and everything.
Everybody has the right to choose their own schedules.
I think it's important for everybody to know that we have to speak up for ourselves, advocating for myself and others to have that dignity and courage and knowledge to know what we're speaking up for.
Making a choice in my life makes me feel better towards my goals and the individual things I like to do.
Doing what I want to do, it makes me happy and makes me enjoy life.
Federal requirement number 1, access to the community. The setting service is integrated in and supports full access to the greater community, including opportunities to seek employment and work in competitive, integrated settings, engage in community life, control personal resources, and receive services in the community to the same degree of access as individuals not receiving regional center services.
You have to do your daily, your everyday life thing, like go to work, commute, go to school, you go shopping. So of course it's important that you go to you interact with the community, because not only are you interacting with people, but you're also you can kind of like say you're contributing like to the local economy. You're helping local businesses and local people.
HCBS wants to make sure on the federal level that states and service providers are compliant with making sure that people have the opportunity to access their community. They have a say and receive the same standards as somebody without a disability. Federal requirement number 2, choice of setting. The setting service is selected by the individual from among various options, including non-disability specific options and an option for a private room in a residential setting. The options are identified and documented in the individual program plan and are based on the individual's needs, preferences, and for residential settings, resources available for room and board.
It's important to choose your own path and your own ways. Just to be on my own, just do everyday life.
Because, you know, it gives you motivated, and it makes you want to have motivated, and also being proud of yourself, achieve the goals that you like. So the goals that, for example, for me, for running, for me to achieve it, I had to run, so to make it good, proud of myself, so yeah.
Federal requirement number 3, right to be treated well. The setting service ensures an individual's right to privacy, dignity, respect, and freedom from coercion and restraint.
They should be respectful because they don't know what an individual with disabilities is going through. So they don't realize we can't at a certain age. You may have someone who's in their 20s that may be acting like a teenager. They don't know that.
If my solitude was interrupted in some way, then I would probably be a little disappointed, because it's like, hey, like this is my time to relax, or, when I'm stressed, go in my room, read a book. So I feel like it'd be a violation of my privacy and my boundary, because my room is like my safe space.
Federal requirement number 4, independence. The setting service optimizes but does not regiment individuals' initiative, autonomy, and independence in making life choices, including daily activities, physical environment, and with whom to interact.
It helps them choose have a good life for themselves that benefits them to their schedule and their standards of who they are. I like to go for walks, play video games, and read. That's what helps me out. And I'm really glad I get to do those things.
Federal requirement number 5, choice of services and supports. The setting service facilitates individual choice regarding services and supports and who provides them.
I have a choice whoever gets to train me. Because like, they're gonna help what you need. So once you ask for what you need, they're always gonna help you and support you.
Federal requirement number 6, residential agreement. The unit or dwelling is a specific physical place that can be owned, rented, or occupied under a legally enforceable agreement by the individual receiving services, and the individual has, at a minimum, the same responsibilities and protections from eviction that tenants have under the landlord-tenant law of the state, county, city, or other designated entity. For settings in which landlord-tenant laws do not apply, the state must ensure that a lease, residency agreement, or other form of written agreement will be in place for each participant, and that the document provides protections that address eviction, processes, and appeals comparable to those provided under the jurisdiction's landlord-tenant law.
Agreements are there for a reason because they protect us, the individuals. Individuals like us, we have our own rights as well.
Federal requirement number 7, privacy. Each individual has privacy in their sleeping or living unit. Number 1, units have entrance doors lockable by the individual, with only appropriate staff having keys to doors as needed.
If someone locked my door without my permission per se, then it would just make me kind of uncomfortable, because I feel like that person is in charge of my privacy.
It feels really good. Before I couldn't talk to anybody at the time, but now when I'm living on my own, I can do what I want and be on the phone anytime I want to.
It's important to have privacy because sometimes people may not understand or what you're going through, because sometimes privacy is an important key to your everyday life, for most of the time. But if you don't want to say anything about it, or you don't want to talk about it, it's your choice to whether you want to talk about it or not. That's part of your life and your privacy.
Number 2, individuals sharing units have a choice of roommates in that setting.
If you have a roommate that you don't like or you don't get along with, then that'll cause tension, not just between you two, but between the entire household.
Number 3, individuals have the freedom to furnish and decorate their sleeping or living units within the lease or other agreement.
I wouldn't like my bedroom if I didn't get to say in how it looked. Having 60 maybe plus books in my room kind of provides me a solitude in a sense, because when I'm reading, it's nothing in the world matters.
Federal requirement number 8, schedule and access to food. Individuals have the freedom and support to control their own schedules and activities and have access to food at any time.
Let's see, I get up, go to work. Actually, I get up, take my dog out, get my lunch ready, go to work at 8 o'clock, then I get off at 2:30. Now I'm going to that social rec thing, so I'm trying to get out more, I've only been at it a couple times, so I'm going tonight for Taco Tuesday. Everybody else should have the right to eat when they want to eat.
Like if you want to you go get a hamburger at Frosty King, you go and get it. You don't let someone stop you from go getting what you want.
Federal requirement number 9, right to visitors. Individuals are able to have visitors of their choosing at any time.
Everyone should be able to have visitors whenever they want to. To have friends is to make you feel happy so you won't feel sad or depressed. It's one of my favorite things. I want to do something with my friends, like go hang out with them at the mall or go to the movies or go out to lunch.
Federal requirement number 10, accessibility. The setting is physically accessible to the individual.
It helps me being confident, as well as having the courage to do something.
Most people don't get that opportunity like that, so there's an opportunity. You go ahead and choose your own path.